The first week without a cell phone felt like losing a limb. Not the kind that hurts, but the phantom ache that comes from a missing piece of your identity. It started with a frantic pat down on the northbound Yonge University subway line. Somewhere between Bloor and St. Clair, the usual crowd of headphones and hunched shoulders, a blur of faces. One moment my hand was in my pocket, feeling the reassuring rectangle of my brand new Pixel. The next, a slight bump, and the feeling was gone. I didn't even notice until I was standing on my usual corner in Kensington Market, waiting for a friend. The familiar jolt of anxiety, the hand diving into the empty pocket, it was gone. My stomach dropped. It wasn't just the $2,000. It was everything on it. My life, my work, my entire digital existence. All gone with a single, silent, and expertly executed theft. A cold, empty feeling settled in my chest. A feeling that would soon be replaced by a chilling kind of dread. The first hint of something truly strange came 2 days later. My friend Liam messaged me on Facebook from his laptop. "Hey dude, is this you?" He sent a screenshot of my Instagram account. It was a new post. A single, grainy photo of the graffiti-covered alley behind my apartment building on Dundas West. The caption read, "I know where you live." My blood ran cold. The phone was off, but the accounts were still live, and someone was posting from them. Over the next few days, the phantom thief became a ghost in the machine. They posted cryptic, unnerving messages on all my social media. A photo of a streetcar turning a corner on College Street with the caption, "The red dragon stalks its prey." A picture of a half-eaten smoked meat sandwich from my favorite deli in the annex, captioned, "You always skip the pickles." The posts weren't just random, they were eerily specific, referencing my daily routines, my favorite foods, places I frequented. The thief wasn't just a thief, they were a stalker. I filed a police report, of course, but the officer at the 52 Division Station was sympathetic, but dismissive. "It's a phone, sir. Happens every day. We'll file the report, but you know the drill. Someone probably sold it for parts in an hour." He didn't believe the stalker angle, chalking it up to a coincidence or a friend playing a bad joke. But my friends and family all swore it wasn't them. The posts continued, and the messages became more personal. A photo of my old beat-up guitar, sitting in the corner of my living room, captioned, "The music stopped a long time ago." It was a direct, pointed reference to my failed career as a musician, a secret I rarely shared. I couldn't shake the feeling that the thief was someone I knew. But who? I went over my friends, my exes, my casual acquaintances. No one fit the profile of a tech-savvy stalker with a vendetta. The feeling of being watched was maddening. I started to notice things. A fleeting face in a crowd at St. Lawrence Market. A shadow that seemed to follow me down a side street. It was a paranoid, suffocating existence. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I bought a cheap burner phone and set up a new email account, then went to my old laptop to log into my Google account. The location history was still active. I had to use it to my advantage. The phone's last active location was a downtown streetcar depot, but a new data point appeared. The phone was on a bus heading north on Spadina, cutting through the heart of the city, its location beacon pinging every few minutes. I followed the ghost of my phone. The bus took me to Chinatown, where the dot on my screen lingered for 20 minutes outside a busy dim sum restaurant. I stood across the street, watching, but saw no one who looked out of place. The dot moved again, this time towards the West End, along Dundas West, the very neighborhood where I lived. It stopped right outside my favorite pub. I ducked into a nearby alley and watched the pub entrance, my heart hammering in my chest. The phone was right there, mocking me, but there was no one. The thief was a phantom. This went on for a week. The ghost phone would move around the city, always staying a few steps ahead of me. It would show up at the places I was just about to go, or places I had just left. It felt like a game, a twisted game of cat and mouse, where the cat was a digital ghost and I was the terrified mouse. The mystery deepened when the posts became even more personal. A screenshot of a draft email I had written, but never sent, a raw emotional plea to my estranged sister. The caption was a single, devastating word, "Forgiven." This wasn't a random thief. This was someone who had access to my deepest, most private thoughts. The thought that someone was rummaging through my most personal data, using it to torment me, made me sick. I was ready to give up when the phone's location history delivered its final and most terrifying message. The location dot stopped moving. It was stationary, in a place I knew well, the abandoned power station on the edge of the Don Valley. It was a place I had often gone to as a teenager, a place of personal significance to me, a place I'd told no one about. My heart pounded. The game was over. I took the subway to Broadview Station and walked the rest of the way. The old brick building was eerie and silent. I pushed open a creaking metal door and stepped inside. The place was a cavern of concrete and rusting machinery, sunlight streaming through broken windows. A chill wind howled through the empty halls. I pulled out the burner phone and checked the GPS. The dot was right here. I walked deeper, my steps echoing in the vast space. I found a small office with a broken window and a single rotting chair. And there, sitting on the dusty surface of a rusted desk, was my phone. My heart leaped, with a mix of relief and terror. It was there, just sitting there. But who had left it? And why? I reached for it, but stopped. On the screen was a message, a simple text message from an unknown number. Look up. I slowly raised my head. High on a metal catwalk above me, a figure was standing backlit by the sun. It was a woman, her face in shadow. As she stepped forward, the light caught her face. It was my sister. Her voice, distorted by the large empty space, was cold and hollow. It's all in there, isn't it? The truth, everything. She told me how she had found the phone, which had been lost, not stolen, by a pickpocket who had dropped it in the street. She had taken it as a sign. She had been tracking my digital life, watching my every move, consumed by a need to know what I was hiding. The emotional email I had written but never sent had been the final straw. She had posted it for the world to see, a desperate plea for me to get real. She had turned my phone into a weapon, a ghost to haunt me, a terrifying phantom of my past. I retrieved my phone, but the victory was hollow. The mystery was solved, but the truth was more terrifying than any ghost. The ghost wasn't a hacker or a criminal. It was a person, a family member, who had used my own digital life to expose a hidden truth. I walked out of the power station, my phone now a heavy weight in my hand. It was no longer just a device. It was a reminder that our lives and all our secrets are now just a series of pings on a screen, and that some ghosts are far more real than others.